I was in Thailand for 4 weeks and my experience there was nothing short of great. If you're thinking about coming to a place like Thailand and leaving the West, all I want to say before we jump on the video is be very careful. And I'll explain about that as we go through this video. As it is true what they say, some people literally never want to go back home. So in this video, here's what I learned about being there for the past month. Alright dudes, here's why I think everybody should move to Thailand or at least experience it. So we're going to talk about my experience, we're going to talk about other people's experiences as well. And we're also going to talk about some of the good stuff, but some of the bad stuff as well. I want you guys to be aware if you are thinking about going there in your life, or you are thinking obviously about starting a business, etc. And Thailand might be one of the options for you. So firstly, I met two dudes in the gym that I became very good friends with, and they have both very similar stories, but very different, stories, if that makes sense. So firstly, French guy, I think his name was Matteo, I can't remember. And he was doing online sales regardless. Both these guys were making money online because you can go to Thailand and get a job, right? You can, but it's not really why you go, etc. You have to be making some sort of income online if you do want to live there, a long time. So the French guy, he's been there for 9 months. And his story was, he literally went for 30 days. He kept extending the visa, like you can do. I'll talk about that in a second. But he's been there for 9 months. Left his girlfriend, said, fuck it, I'm moving. And that's his story. The older guy, Swiss guy, he's been there for 20 plus years, 25, 26 years, pretty much my age. He's been living there instead of, Switzerland. And I totally get why, dudes. I totally get why. I will talk about the reasons why. But every 30 days, you can just bounce and come back to reset the passport. They do a long visa also where you can either learn language or learn Muay Thai. So I was thinking about doing this, but I have a meetup with the private community that I'm doing, and I've also got another meetup in London. But this was one of the things I was strongly considering. Just keep that in mind. So you could pretty much bounce to Malaysia, which I think is a couple of hours, or you could go to Vietnam and reset the passport. Literally don't have to stay there overnight. Come back to Thailand, the 30 days are going. Or there's another two ways you can do this, by learning the language or learning Muay Thai. So literally coming up to a fight school once a week, and that will literally keep you there for I think 1 year or so. The older Swiss guy was telling me, learn how to do Muay Thai, pay like 8,000 baht I think it was, or was it 35,000 baht, I can't remember. But if you have the money to do that, and it's not that expensive, you could do that theoretically and stay there for over a year, which is absolutely insane. Think about that. Just think about that. So I came here by accident, and I'm glad I did. So I wasn't supposed to come to Thailand. I was supposed to go to Spain. My editor was supposed to come to Thailand. He got caught up with some stuff, visa, etc. But I wasn't supposed to go there. But I thought, fuck it, let me just try there. And I'm so glad I did. There's so many lessons I learned in the last 4 weeks. Obviously, I'm back in the UK right now, but I do plan to go there back very, very soon. I'm handling some stuff here, meetups, etc. Obviously, I want to see my family, the girl, my dog, etc. I want to do all this stuff, right? But if I didn't have all that stuff and I didn't have the private community, etc., I would never have left. I would never have left because it was that good. I'll talk about the reasons why in a second, but there are two things I wrote down on this PowerPoint, maybe that you should consider if you are thinking about going there. So number one is the people. I've never met a nicer bunch of people everywhere I go. Everywhere I went, everybody was like, Sadawi Kap, which means hello. I can't remember the other words they were saying, but I learned 2 words, Sadawi Kap, and then Kapun Cup, which is like hello and then thank you. But everywhere I go, smiles, everybody was so nice to you. There was not one person I met that didn't say hello, that wasn't super, super nice. And it just makes you realize how pissed off the UK workers are. It literally, waking up with the sun, vitamin D is obviously a good thing, but just walking around to the gym, out, etc., meeting people, it just makes you feel better. It makes you feel so much better if everybody's thank you. Here in the UK, I've been here back 1 day, and everybody's got a grumpy smile on. Nobody wants to say hello, apart from the few people that I've been speaking to. You have to make the effort. Thai people just make the effort. They don't care how rich you are, how broke you are. They do not care. All they care about is just welcoming everybody, and it's so nice to see. Here's an example of it's just like a funny little meme here. It's almost like they're pretending to smile, like a manager of McDonald's or whatever. It's like a fake smile. You can totally tell. Over there, Starbucks, etc., they're genuinely happy to meet you. You have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. As soon as you land there and you just interact with 3-4 people, you'll understand exactly what I mean. It's very hard to find these kind of people in the UK, at least from my experience, day-to-day life. You'll think of yourself today, for example. You go to work, you probably filled up your gas, or you went to the shop, Tesco's, wherever you guys go. And then compare that to 1 fucking hour in Thailand, and you'll see the difference. It's so hard to explain without actually going there, because I've seen this stuff online. Yeah, they're super, super nice, but once you're there and once you experience it, especially for, a month like I did, you really understand the difference. It's absolutely insane. It just makes you as a better person. It makes you want to get after it. It made me want to film more YouTube videos, just get after life more, go to the gym more, try harder. It just made everything better. So here's another thing you need to realize: the cost of living. You can live a 10k per month lifestyle for about 1k there, which is absolutely insane. So London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, these kind of cities, they're expensive. They're expensive, but they don't have to be in Thailand. So day-to-day items, it's impossible to spend nearly as much in the UK. I actually was going to put some videos here, but I recorded them here. So here's the place I was staying at. No, this is a mall, in fact. So here's like a mall. Like there's supercars, not supercars, but there's like Porsches in the mall. There's all this kind of cool stuff. There's massive malls over there. But here's where I was staying, in this kind of apartment, kind of complex, I think they called it. So firstly, like in Glasgow, etc., it depends obviously where you're at, but you got like this like main apartment bit you could go and do work if you wanted to. Here's outside at night, there's a pool, there's like on the 8th floor, there's like a rooftop thing, there's like a gym in here. Like you just don't get that, especially where I'm from. Maybe you might get it in London and some high-end places, but you're probably spending about 10 grand a month for this kind of lifestyle. Here's what it looks like in the morning. Like all this came included, man. All this came included. Like you just get so much. And you do get this in some like, Spanish countries, etc., but not to this level. Not to this level. And especially in like UK, you're going to be paying a lot of money. Here's an example of a nightlife kind of a rooftop bar. It's my first experience of going to one of these, and like you could just see the city. It just looks insane. You would agree. It just looks absolutely insane, and it's not expensive at all. Not expensive at all. Here's some food. Obviously get this in the UK, but it's just everything, in my opinion, was better. And again, experience it for yourself to know what I'm talking about, because I thought when I first started about, yeah, sure, it'll be decent, but whatever, but I couldn't believe how cheap the stuff was. Like day-to-day items, 7-Eleven stores, they're everywhere, and shit is just so cheap. Like water was so cheap, coffee was so cheap. They have Grab, which is like Uber, but it's just way better. It's so cheap to get around. I could literally go across, the whole of Bangkok for like $6, $8. Most of my places I was using Grab. I was using the cars, not the motorbike Grab, because I was just scared. These motorbike Uber drivers or taxi drivers, motorbike drivers, moped drivers, motorbike, whatever, it scares me. They're in and out. It's absolutely scary to see. They're good. Like I seen one crash, but it was just like a bump. But I didn't want to trust that. It's just too much for me. I don't really like that. But the Grab was cheap enough, like actual cars, air conditioning, everything. Like it's just cheap, bro. It's so cheap to get around. I paid £65 to get back from the when I landed in Glasgow to get back home, and I'm not even that far away. That's the difference. For Grab, never even spent anywhere close to £65. That's like $70, $80. I think I probably spent that my whole time there, and I was going 30-40 minute drive sometimes. So it's completely different. It's absolutely insane. The money you can get for this is the cost of living is honestly, I believe, is a 10x. So 1k, you'll get about 10k lifestyle. I genuinely believe that, and that's what I experienced. It was really hard to spend money sometimes, but also I will say stuff can be pricey, but I like to pay for stuff in certain areas. So for example, the gym membership, it was $110, dude. I pay here probably $10, give or take, or $20, whatever the math would be. So yeah, $20, about £15 a month, $20, right? The gym membership I was going to was $110 a month, but the difference was the network was insane. I met the two people I introduced you before. These two guys, total insane. It was a different kind of gym. I went boxing. Like it was just a nice gym, right? So gyms are expensive, but I'm sure you could find cheaper gyms. Of course you could, right? This was like the top gym where I was staying at. Steaks were very expensive. $45, dude, for 2 steaks, 500 grams each. Now again, you could get it cheaper, but I wanted to get the finest of the finest. Again, I really invest in the areas that I like. For example, the gym, I like to invest, but there's a good network and just best equipment. And steaks, because I pretty much only eat once a day, and I would rather just fuel my body with the best steaks possible. Now again, you could get it cheaper, of course you could. Some of you guys are obviously not eat steaks like 500 grams every single day. It's a bit insane, but that's just what I do. So just keep that in mind. Cost of living is absolutely insane. The water, everything, go and experience it. The 7-Eleven stores, you can't spend money. That's what I said. I said to the girl I was hanging around with sometimes, I was like, it's so hard to spend money. Like it's really hard if you want to spend money. It's so hard. Just keep that in mind. It's very, very good. Now the weather, this is a no-brainer, boys. Now obviously this is a bit of a meme in Scotland or even London, etc. But this is what it looks like in December. This is what it's going to be like in December here, November here, January here, February here. It's an absolute fucking nightmare, bro. And anybody that says they like waking up to cold wind and snow is lying to you. I fucking hate it. It's so annoying. So keep in mind, obviously UK is summer right now, so 17 degrees. That's kind of good weather. I like that weather. It's not too hot. 34 degrees. It's a bit hot for me. It's definitely a little bit hot for me. And keep in mind, what's funny about this is actually not the summer of Thailand. I believe the girl I was hang around with, she said that it was February, March, April, I think January, February, March, April, May, correct me if I'm wrong, are the summer. So I didn't go in the summertime in Thailand, so it gets super, super hot in summer, like 40 degrees, which I would think would be way too much for me, but there's aircon in pretty much every building, so aircon it changes the game. You need aircon. But again, summer in the UK doesn't last long. Might get to 20, 25 down to London, but that's it. And then it's just cold, it's just bullshit, it's just rain and snow and wind. I don't like that stuff. Chances are you don't like that stuff. So big positives with a cheaper lifestyle for a better lifestyle. People are happy, weather's better, and let's talk about nightlife, women in gyms. So you're unique as fuck. When you go there, you can't believe how unique you are compared to the women. It's absolutely insane. Average girls in the West will still think they're something. So here, the 9s in Thailand are absolutely the most lovely people. Like 7, 8s, 9s out of 10s that I spoke to are just so fucking lovely. You can't even get a conversation with a 9 in the UK. A genuine 9, not a bullshit 9, a genuine 9. So here in the UK, not every UK 5, they're absolute arseholes. They think they're absolutely shit, they think they're fantastic, and that's only because bums in the UK are digging them up, telling them they're beautiful, etc. So it's a different kind of experience. Again, you have to go there to know what I'm talking about. The women you're attracting right now in the UK, I guarantee you will get way better in Thailand and they'll be way fucking nicer. I guarantee that. That was my experience. I guarantee that. Go and experience it for yourself. All these are just pluses in my opinion. And I wrote here, wear protection at all costs. This is coming from me. You don't want to be going there, going through some girls, even if they're the genuine sweetest girls, you just don't want to do that. I would wear protection at all costs because there are some girls out there that will sleep around with everybody. So just keep that in mind. It is Thailand, of course. It's absolutely crazy in terms of the nightlife, as you probably know. So wear protection at all costs. I did, bar from once, but that was because the girl was pretty much a virgin and I did believe her. She could have been bullshitting me, but I could tell. You'll know what I mean, right? So also, they don't boast about how many people they've slept with. A lot of people in the UK, the girls I know in the UK are just like boasting, like, oh yeah, I slept with her, blah, 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 blah. Like, and it's not degenerate. It's not degenerate. I didn't come across any degeneracy at all. Now, obviously, if you go and look for it, you'll find it pretty fast, right? And we'll talk about that in the next slide. But most of the girls I spoke to were fucking sick, fucking absolutely sick. So didn't come across any. And the gyms, like I said, the network, etc. It's just unreal. It's just unreal. So here's probably what you guys wanted to know. How were the experiences with the ladyboys and freelancers? Well, talk about this. You need to be careful here. You very much need to be careful here with some ladyboys because some of them, pains me to say this, are beautiful, right? I didn't have any experience with them. I'll talk about that in a second, but some of them are just, it's unreal. I don't know about you guys, if you're in Glasgow right now, here are the ladyboys, etc. They're just guys with wigs, right? They look fucking ridiculous, in my opinion. I'm not against these people. It's just not my thing, right? I'm not attracted to ladyboys, right? It's not my thing. I like a vagina. I like an actual girl. I'm not here to sleep with a guy or a girl with a cock, whatever you want to talk about. It's not my thing, right? But it's easier to tell than people make it out. I almost got caught one time, but I just asked. I could kind of tell, but I wasn't sure. And honestly, if you come across, because you will come across it, they're absolutely everywhere. I was speaking to somebody, I can't remember who it was, and he made a funny comment. He was like, and this is genuinely true, think about this. In Thailand, there's more females than guys. It's never really the case. In UK, there's more guys, blah, blah, blah. And he said, because 50% of the boys turn themselves into girls. That's the reason why there is more females than guys. I don't know if he was joking. I think he was a little bit, but that there is more females than guys. But keep in mind, there's a lot of ladyboys out there. Again, just ask, bro. Genuinely, they will tell you. So that's with me. I kind of could tell she was a ladyboy when I was out one night. And I was like, you ladyboy? And she told me, right? So just ask, and that was it. I was like, okay, we can be friends, but we're not going to be doing any of that other shit because I am a straight man and I always will be. Now, look at the neck. It becomes obvious. You'll see an Adam's apple on a guy, right? If they've got an Adam's apple, I'm not talking about smashing their balls, etc. You don't want to be doing that stuff just to check. You just look at the neck. You'll see an Adam's apple. They can't hide that. I don't think you can do surgery to get rid of the Adam's apple. Maybe you can, but you know, if the voice is good, if everything else is good, just look at the neck, bro. Again, just ask them. They're not going to lie to you, and they will tell you. The unfortunate case is if they lie to you, you go home with them, you're going to get a very, very nasty surprise, and you might be running a mile. So just ask. You're not going to have a problem. Now, on the left here, we have a freelancer, and this is almost, I'll talk about this freelancer in a second. They call them freelancers. They're not called escorts, so they're called freelancers, which is very funny because I hire freelancers for YouTube, my editor, for example, e-com stores, doing VAs, answering emails. I call them freelancers, but over there they call like escorts freelancers. It's kind of funny, but I learned that pretty fast. Here's a street that probably a lot of you guys have seen on YouTube, like these streets. Like when you go to one of these streets that are crazy, nightlife, girls, etc., all these massages, and not the kind of massage, the massages I'm talking about. You'll know when you've entered one of them streets. So keep in mind, if you're going one of them streets, you're going to get grabbed relentlessly. I experienced it one time just for a laugh. I had to quit halfway through because it was absolutely insane. Do not go down one of them streets if you don't want to be harassed by females and wanting to get your cash. Not the kind of girls you're looking for. Maybe you are, but I wasn't looking to pay for any of that kind of stuff. I don't like that. Here's an example on the left of a freelancer. It's very easy to tell, and there's so many of them. I was in, what was that place called? Not Phuket, the other one, Pattaya. I think Pattaya. Some girl took me to Pattaya, and there was one street, and there was literally freelancer, 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 and you can tell because they're dressed like this, they're hanging around, and every now and then a guy would come out, and then they would go home with him and sleep with him, then they would come back. Right? I'm not against this kind of work. I think it's actually quite of a shame. I think it's actually quite of a shame that these girls have to go and sell their vagina to get cash to just survive. I don't think they're making that much money, but some of them definitely are. But I think it's quite a shame. But you're going to be able to tell, and if you want a freelancer, I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to get unlimited girls if you're in decent shape and you're taking care of yourself. Like if you're a genuine 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 as a male, you're going to have no problem getting girls. But a lot of you guys will go down that route, unfortunately. But it's easy to tell, and it's pretty obvious the way they're dressed. They're all dressed like this. You'll know what I mean. But I wouldn't recommend it, boys. Don't not lower yourself to this stuff, but just don't waste your time. It's just going to make you feel shit. No guy is going to feel good about paying for sex. It's just take a wank. Just have a wank, right? Never normally say that, but if you can't get a girl, genuinely, just take a wank. Don't go down paying for sex. It's not going to be worth it. It's just going to make your brain feel fucked up. Unless you can't get girls, you're going to have a really easy time getting girls, even if they're lower quality. Like I said, you're unreal to them because they've never seen a guy, or they have seen a guy, but you're very unique over there. Trust me. If you're going to the gym, you're in decent shape, you're not going to have trouble at all, guys. So zero fuckery. This was the biggest one for me that I noticed. Parking signs didn't exist. Not really. No council tax, no speeding tickets. There's just less stupid rules. The government isn't chasing you. So if you're anything like me, I leave the house sometimes and I just get problems. I just feel like the government's fucking just hitting me with stuff. There's unlimited stuff going on. I'm worried about parking here. I'm scared about parking here. Am I going to be speeding? Blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. My barber actually told me if you have trouble, like if you get caught speeding, the police will stop you, of course, or you're not wearing a helmet if you're on a motorbike. They'll actually stop and they will actually take Gatorades as payment with some cash. So they'll actually, bribery, literally. I don't know if he was bullshitting, but I asked him and I asked a few people and they said, yeah, if you meet the right kind of guys, they'll take some bat off you, they'll take some Gatorades off you and you'll be on your way. If that happened in the UK, you're going to court dates, it's all a mess. You're paying £300, it's adding up, you've got all these court dates, you're losing your driving license. Over there, there's no stupid rules. If you be nice and are a genuine person and just go by day to day and you don't hurt anybody, you're not here to fuck around with the Thai people, you're going to have no problem with all of this bullshit. This is why I hate the UK. I don't hate the UK in general, but this is some of the reasons I hate the UK. Because every time I leave the house, it's always something happen. Always something goes wrong. I'll get parking here, blah, blah, blah. Worried about speeding, etc. It's just an absolute nightmare for me. I've got 6 parking dudes nailing my house right now. They're letter after letter after letter. The money's going up, etc. I just ignore them. I don't give an F. They're just empty threats unless it's like a council one, etc. But if they're just third party, you'll be fine, ignore them. But it's honestly, the people will chase, they add up, etc, etc, etc. It's just a joke, man. It's just a joke. Over there, there's none of that stuff. There's zero fuckery. So just keep that in mind. And the last thing I wrote, dudes, is I understand why people don't home. This is probably why you came here. And this is probably the best advice I would give you if you are thinking about it. For a young man on the come up, teenagers or even 20s, even in your 30s, dudes, even in your 40s, and you're starting to make some good money online, you get such a better life with the money. Women are going to respect you way more. Everyone at home also thinks you're a special person because you're living in some tropical country. So a lot of guys, when I was posting on Instagram and just WhatsApp, etc., they were saying, hey, what the fuck are you, Jake? How long are you living over there? How is that possible? These are guys I haven't spoken to in ages. And I was like, I haven't spoken to them because I don't want to hang around with people that are not on the same grind as me, as harsh as that sounds, but you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. But a lot of people are starting to pay a lot more attention, old friends, etc. And it's not hard to live that lifestyle if you make money online. It's a no-brainer. If you're doing e-commerce, if you're doing YouTube, if you're doing social media, whatever, you're doing sales, you're anything online you can do from your laptop, it's an absolute no-brainer. Because after a month or so, I want you to test it. Just consider staying there for 2 to 4 weeks. Your visa, if you're from the UK, it'll run out after 28 or 30 days. I can't remember. But just go there for a month. If you're making more than 2 to 3k a month, you should go there. You're going to save money. Of course, you've got the flight to pay for, etc. But once you're there, you're going to save money. And you're going to do more than enough for a sick lifestyle. 2 to 3 grand. Now, of course, you should strive for more than that. I'm always saying that. Let's get to 10k minimum a month, but you can live a sick lifestyle there for 3k a month. 3k in London, for example, you're struggling. You are struggling to even get rent, to pay for all the bills, the water, etc. Of course, you don't have to stay in London. You can stay in, outside, etc. But you're struggling, dude. You're really, really struggling with 3k even in London, man. You're fucking having it. And if you are getting around with 3k out in London, you're not having a good lifestyle, bro. You're not having a good lifestyle compared to like 1k. The place I stayed at that I showed you was 1k a month. So cheap, and I got so much, and it was a sick apartment, 2 beds, 2 bathrooms. You ain't getting that in London, bro. You're not getting that in London. You're not getting that in Glasgow. You're not getting that at all, let alone all the other stuff you're paying for. It's a no-brainer. So if you're considering about it, dudes, I challenge you, anybody making that money online, go there, book the ticket, show me. I'll leave my Instagram, text me and let me know how it goes, because generally it will change your mindset. It'll just open you up. And if you've never been that far, if you're from the UK, like a 15-hour flight, it was very, not daunting, not scary. I'm not scared of that stuff, but it was like, okay, it's a long flight, you've got some stuff to take care of. It's going to make you more of a man, trust me. It's going to make, especially if you go there by yourself. I encourage you to go there by yourself. Don't take your girlfriend, don't do all that bullshit, right? Go there by yourself. Arrive there and say, okay, well, I'm making 2 to 3k a month. I need to keep doing that. I need to keep on my grind because there's a lot of distractions. But you'll see a different side of life, the different kind of people, and you'll honestly fucking love it. I guarantee you. Take care. See you in the next video.